U.S. Treasury bonds are no longer what they used to be. There was a time when U.S. Treasury bonds were universally recognized as one of the safest investment tools. Individuals and financial institutions alike often allocated a portion of their portfolios to U.S. bonds. They were seen as a reliable cornerstone of global finance. But things have changed drastically. Today, in a climate where countries around the world are selling off U.S. bonds, their primary role seems to be propping up America's growing fiscal deficit. In simpler terms, U.S. bonds are now mainly used to support the government's heavy spending habits to keep the country running, albeit barely. Let's break this down. U.S. national debt has ballooned to nearly $37 trillion, which is roughly 124% of the country's GDP. That means America owes far more money than it earns in an entire year. The biggest concern here? The debt keeps piling up. And to pay off old debt, the government has to issue new debt, essentially robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's like patching up one hole by creating another. You could think of the US as a country that survives by constantly borrowing money, unable to function without taking on more debt. Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater Associates, has voiced serious concerns about this. He believes the scale and speed of America's debt growth are unsustainable, accelerating toward a breaking point every day. According to Dalio, this could eventually trigger a global reset, where the established financial and geopolitical order gets reshuffled. History seems to back him up. Dalio explains that whenever a country's spending reaches an unsustainable level, so high that it can no longer repay its obligations, it sets off a chain reaction that disrupts the existing order. And in his view, the US is now teetering on the edge of that tipping point. Here's why. When a country can't repay its debts, it has two options. Either it defaults, or it prints more money. Governments almost always choose the latter. But printing excessive amounts of money comes at a cost. It devalues the currency and drives inflation higher. When inflation spirals out of control, other countries start losing trust in that currency, creating an opening for alternative currencies to rise to global prominence. In summary, the US is facing a precarious financial situation. If things continue on this path, the ripple effects could be felt not just in America but around the world. So how could we protect our wealth? Subscribe to this channel to find out.